Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Return to Zork. Last time we looted Snoot's farm, checked out Pugny's ranch, and tried to enter the vulture pits. You can see how well that turned out for us. But before we reload, there's a hint down here in the death message. You're dead meat. Well, vultures do like dead meat, and coincidentally, we happen to be carrying a slab of meat that started to rot about the time we ran into Rebecca. So perhaps if we threw it, we could distract the vultures long enough for us to do what we need to do. Well, that seemed to work. Maybe not. But we seem to be on the right track. The vultures did respond to the meat. Well, for now, I think it's probably best if we head back above ground and show off some of our new belongings to the citizens of West Shanbar, and see if the mayor's filing cabinet has updated with any new hints. You know, I'm amazed Booze hasn't noticed this ladder here yet.
Want some rye? Of course you do.
On second thought, I'm not. Alright. First thing you'll notice is that we have new music here. CD audio is working, and I personally prefer the little MIDI jingle that plays here. For now, let's visit Miss Peepers.
What year is it? Oh yeah, the Great Diffusion was 1247. That was 400 years ago. My birthday's coming up soon.
400 years ago? How did he survive that long? Well, anyway, you'll notice that this time, we can head straight on in. We don't need to ring the bell anymore.
Do you think you have to go outside for anything?
Well, that was a reaction to the rotting slab of meat that we're carrying around. I believe most characters will have some response to it. For now, let's jump straight into questioning. We're carrying a couple new items that she'll respond to.
Get that out of here this instant!
And the joke book.
Oh, that is written in the literary tongue. The book of 4 jokes and learned essays upon them? I suppose it's good that at least you read occasionally. Rebecca Snoot might be a good one to translate the old language. She picks up languages in a snap.
You know, I'm not sure if she snapped her fingers or clicked her tongue there, but we showed that book to Rebecca last time and she said that she couldn't read it. Anyway, photo-wise, she'll say the same thing about Rebecca that she said about the joke book. It's a reused line. And she also has a comment about Moodok.
Oh, that. Mr. Moodok is always playing that silly survivor game of his. We used to play it here with the children. He always insists on playing the wizard, but he always tries to win the hard way. You know, the wizard is allowed to pass if he can't make a move.
No, I didn't know that. And that little rule does significantly change the wizard's odds of winning. Well, that's all we're going to get out of Miss Peepers for now. So, let's move on to the mayor. Let's see what he's been up to.
Would you mind standing a little farther back?
Alright, well, diving right on in. The only new possession that he'll respond to is, again, the joke book.
How many computer programmers does it take to screw in a light bulb? That's a hardware problem.
Yes, the joke book is that bad. Still, I'm not sure how we were supposed to know that the mayor could read the tongue in the joke book, but it worked. Photo-wise,
Modoc. He used to sell arms. Guess someone took him seriously. One day he just disappeared, along with his shop. A shame what's happened to him. He used to be the miller when we had grain to mill. Now he just sits in that mill by the river and drinks himself into a stupor. And he's a menace on the road.
well, that little bit there was a hint for us to get the keys from him. And an anomaly, that's the only time the game will dump you out to this screen. Booz's photo seems to do that when you show it to the mayor.
She's a brilliant woman. Anthropologist, always studying.
Alright, well, that's all the information we're going to get out of the mayor for now, so let's move on to his filing cabinet. Starting at the top, we have Illuminite here as a file, and we've heard that mentioned twice, so this seems like a good place to begin. Apparently, Illuminite is a glowing material mined by dwarves. It was originally considered useless, but now is used extensively for building underground. It's valued for its GRU-repellent qualities. It's a material primarily used by ITNL Incorporated. Illuminite loses its glow when it's exposed to most sources of warmth, such as sunlight or body heat, and it glows its brightest when it's placed near radio speakers. Alright, well, the Illuminite article did mention ITNL, and ITNL stands for Illuminite, Transluminite, and Leisure Incorporated. The company was formed by none other than Wizard Trimbile, Rooper, Modoc, and Canuck. Their names seem to keep popping up. They're apparently responsible for Dizzy World, the Teleorb, and the Illuminite battery powering it. The Illuminite article mentioned that we should take a look at Phoebo's Folly. Phoebo's Folly was apparently a football-sized chunk of Illuminite that emitted strange sounds and energies. It was found by the dwarven miner Phoebo. It was set aside as a good luck symbol, then when the anticipated vein of Illuminite failed to appear, it was named Phoebo's Folly. Ultimately, Illuminite became a dominant mining material. Phoebo, unfortunately, did not live to see his discovery become a valued building material and light source. Renamed the Cluster. So, let's find out a bit more about who found the cluster. Well, the dwarven miner who found the cluster was named Phoebo. He was embarrassed by the fact the anticipated vein of Illuminite didn't follow the giant cluster that they found, so he took to drinking and died in a tragic minecart accident. He's apparently now revered as the minecart, and some of his wardrobe is enshrined at the Belnair Temple. The cluster is a football-sized concentration of pure Illuminite of an odd color. The luminance of the cluster never diminishes. It's on view at the Belnair Temple. And no information about what the Belnair Temple is. Well, one more article from this filing cabinet, this drawer, and we'll move on. We've been to East Shambar, so let's look up some of the news from the area. Well, this is about Modoc's place disappearing, which was apparently the headquarters of ITNL. And before that, apparently the Innovizinuff disappeared. And just 2 years later, the general store closed, just as the owner, Will Swindle, was closing up shop for good, because his clientele has literally been vanishing. Huh. And 7 years before that, apparently, Phoebo's Folly was suspected to have been replaced with a fake cluster. The Holy Woman at Belnair Temple has asked ITNL to investigate. Well, I think that's enough from this drawer. Moving on. The wizard did mention the Great Diffusion was 400 years ago. which apparently the point of the Great Diffusion was to destroy all magic and magical devices in the hopes that evil magic would be vanquished forever. Most wizards and mages lost their powers in the process. And I was curious how Wizard Trembile has managed to survive 400 years, and there just so happens to be a file called Long Life Spell. It was a spell apparently cast by the Mage Canuck and Wizard Trembile before the Great Diffusion to ensure they would both live long enough to recover their powers. So apparently, if the mages and wizards are beginning to recover their magic, maybe evil magic is returning to Zork as well. One last article from here. Plants. Well, this appears to be about the bonding plant, and we do need a living bonding plant to enter Chuckles Comedy Club, for whatever reason. Apparently, when a bonding plant is dug up, it bonds with its human. While being in good mental health won't reinvigorate the plant does wilt and die if its master becomes sad or depressed. Apparently this bond is symbiotic because the plant, wilting or dying, can prematurely sadden its master. And apparently this bond is not physical. There's no distance that will interrupt this bond. The plant seems to grow just about any time of the year. However, once it's bonded with a human, it will never sprout again in the same spot so long as it continues to exist, dead or alive. So as long as we're carrying this dead bonding plant with us, another one can't grow up in the mountain pass. Not that we can get up there anyway. Well, let's see. Magic tiles? Not much information, just a game for manipulative people. Comes in sets of 9, 12, or 16, and the last tile isn't revealed until all of the words are in the correct arrangement? I wonder what kind of game that is. And last, refuse. Well, apparently there's been an incinerator installed recently by the Everblast company, and due to the intense heat inside the furnace, only one drawer or hatch should be open at a time to prevent possible explosions. Well, that's enough information for one trip. There's still one person left in town that we haven't visited yet. The waif.
Oh, it's you again. Stay back, okay? Stay back. What do you want? I escaped from the Cliffs of Depression. I don't know how long ago. If only I could go to a happy place. Somewhere fun.
Alright, well, the only thing that we're carrying now that he'll respond to is, well, the pair of tickets to Disney World.
If only I could go to a happy place. Somewhere fun.
Which just so happens to be the happiest place in Zork. We don't really have a need for these tickets, so let's let him have it. Or her, or whatever.
Wow. I told myself if anyone was ever nice to me, I'd give them this. My father gave that to me before I escaped. He said it was good luck. I want you to have it.
Alright, well, thanks for the, thing that we cannot examine that looks like a rock. Well, I think that's enough for one video. So, I'll see you next time.